realized that family is not as valuable as you might think. I know people are pushing family is everything, when in fact it's not. Besides the blood of Jesus Christ, blood doesn't mean anything. Blood doesn't mean that people get to treat you like shit. Blood doesn't mean that they can abuse you and use you however they want just because you share the same blood and because you have memories with those people. A lot of families keep loyalty and push loyalty to keep you stuck to them, to keep you bound to them, and to not form your own character. Are we ready to talk? Hi guys, it's Alot and welcome back to my channel. If someone would have told me 5 years ago that I would be making a video like this, I would have called them insane, because I was someone who was dying for her family. Like back then, family was my everything. It was basically my whole identity, which on its own is already a huge freaking problem, which should have been a big indicator that something was wrong. You don't see that up until you get a chance to view your family from a third person perspective, which is why I'm making this. A lot of people are stuck in toxic family dysfunctions because they do not get a chance to see their families without their titles, mom, dad, siblings, because those titles are there to conceal a lot of shit. I want you to do this right now. Put the title of mom, dad, brother, sister aside, right? Put that to the side and view that person as a complete stranger. Would you let their behavior slide if it was actually a stranger? And a lot of people are going to say no. And that is the thing. Why are you letting it slide just because it's your mom or your dad? Why are you letting it slide just because they're siblings? Is it because they carried the same blood? Is it because they raised you? Is it because you hold memories with those people because you were raised under the same roof? What significance does that hold when at the end of the day, all they were doing is use you, abuse you, and manipulate you? Please tell me. None of it matters. I got a letter 2 days ago, and this is precisely why I'm making this video. I got a letter 2 days ago that confirmed everything that the Lord was trying to show me for the past 2 years. It was still a shock after I got that letter and after I found something out, but I was thanking Lord. I was thanking God for putting me through everything that I have went through for the past 2 years and for opening my eyes finally, because that letter on black and white showed me family doesn't mean unconditional love, it means conditional love. As long as you're useful to your parents, as long as you're putting in the energy, and as long as you don't open your mouth, as long as you keep everything concealed and stay loyal, you're a good child. But try to open your mouth once. Try to speak out the truth once. Try to choose morals and righteousness over loyalty and family, and see what happens. I lost everyone around me because I chose Jesus, because I chose his way, righteousness and morals over blood. And that's where I realized a lot of these family dynamics are there to keep you in generational curses, are there to keep you stuck, to keep you from expanding and growing into the person that God intended you to be and into the person that you want to become. Your family is your biggest obstacle in life that you have to overcome in order to grow. Because let me tell you, friends hold you back as well, but it's family. Family, like 90% of the time, and I'm not saying all people are stuck in toxic family dynamics. No, but it's a lot of people who are stuck in there and they don't get to see the shit that is going on because they're looking at everything from a very biased perspective, because it is their parents, because it is their siblings, because they raised them. They feel like they owe them anything, when in reality that is just not true. In the Bible it states honor your parents, yes, but it doesn't say be a slave to your parents. Quite the opposite. Jesus, when people were pointing out that his family had come, he was like, my family's right here. The people he was talking to. Because again, blood doesn't mean anything, even for Jesus. Obviously, he loved his mother, he loved his siblings, but it was the people who were choosing righteousness and love over everything. That is what matters. And please tell me, how does blood make a person more valuable than a stranger? How is the blood running in your veins and of your family members, how is that making them any more valuable than any other person on this planet. And this is why I'm saying family conceals a lot of abuse. Family conceals a lot of, using, manipulation, and just taking advantage of you and your kindness and your love. And you don't get to realize that until you get a chance to step back and view your family from a third person perspective. God put me through hell. God distanced me from my family for an extended time so I could finally see them for who they are. Because before that, I was always sugarcoating. I was always trying to come up with excuses because obviously it's your family. You love them. But that love is making you blind. You're idolizing your family to a point that is unhealthy, that bothers even God. Of course you should love your family. Even though I don't talk to any of my family members anymore, except for one of them, I still love them. I pray for them, but they're harming me. So I have to keep my distance. And God really showed me that I had put my family above God. And I was saying this with my own mouth when I was a teenager, always saying like, no, my family comes first, than God. What bull crap. And it showed me how hurtful this was to God. Nothing in this life is above God. That is the only thing I have learned in these 2 years. Nothing and no one is more valuable than God. I experienced a heartbreak over this because I thought my family loved me unconditionally, and I was begging and chasing for their love, attention, and approval. And once I saw that it was all conditional, my whole world broke apart. And God actually showed me, this is how I have felt for years when you were ignoring me. And I was like, I am so sorry, Lord. I am so sorry for putting people who were only using me above you. I am so sorry. When you were trying to love me unconditionally and give me everything I ever wanted and needed, I was putting people above you, and I'm so sorry. This is why I also want to say, stop looking for love in the wrong places, because that is exactly what is keeping you bound to those people, what is keeping you in that toxic family dynamic, because you are looking for approval and you are looking for love where it's only given to you when you perform. You're only being valued when you are of use to people. Is that okay with you? Is that okay? I want you to take a step back and reevaluate your whole family and reevaluate your whole life. Because I know for a fact that there is a small voice inside your head, which is probably why you clicked on this video in the first place. There is a small voice inside of your head that says, maybe my family isn't as perfect as they're trying to portray them as. Maybe my family is toxic. It was this small voice where I was starting to question things, and it was like, is my family toxic? And then I discarded that thought immediately. I was like, no, I can't think like this. That is so ungrateful. See where it's coming from? Because that is what our parents teach us. When you are even thinking like that, you feel bad because your parents have raised you, because your parents put money into you. That is what they're supposed to do. That's their role. No parent, and if they do it, that just shows how manipulative they are. If a parent holds the fact that they raised you, that they had to work for you above your head, if they try to guilt trip you with it, that's where you draw the line, because it was their decision to put you into this world, and obviously God's. But at first, it was their decision to put a baby into this world, and so it's their responsibility to take care of you. It's a given. It's actually a given that they take care of you. They cannot use that against you. Do not let them use this tactic, because that is what kept me bound. Because as I said, as a teenager, I started to form that thought, and I immediately said, no, this can't be. I already had the confrontational talk with my parents, and they obviously discarded all of my feelings, saying, no, I'm so ungrateful, and oh yeah, we're the worst parents to ever exist. Yeah, that should have already been confirmation enough for me, but I was like stubborn. I was like set on not losing my family, and God was like, let me get this to another level. And when that letter arrived, and when that thing happened in my life, it was like, yeah, it was in fact all conditional. I was loved for being useful, not because I was me. I was being loved because I was of use to people. And this is so bizarre. I have literally nothing right now. I only have God, but I have never felt this happy in my whole entire life. And this is the confirmation that I needed, because God alone is everything you will ever need in this life, ever. And I know this is not the topic of this video, but at the end of the day, stop being scared of losing your family, stop being scared of losing people, and start being scared of losing God and losing yourself. The more you keep going in these dynamics, the more you keep being stuck in these family dysfunctions, the more you will lose yourself. And I'm talking out of experience. I lost myself, and I've only found myself 2 years ago when Jesus stepped into my life. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what I wanted. I didn't know why I was here, but now I know. I have purpose. I have Jesus, and that is the only thing you will ever need. Family doesn't mean nothing. Trust me. Please take care of yourself. Start seeing people for who they are, and stop letting people abuse you and use you however they want. You're so much more than that. You're worth so much more than, just being your family's little pet.